Hey y'all, so today we're checking out Illuminating Machinima. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Shy in Second Life, and on this channel we check out aesthetically pleasing places in the virtual world of Second Life, and I also sporadically do lifestyle vlogs. So if you're interested in content like this, go ahead and subscribe. So y'all, this land just starting off, it was a bit difficult just for me to even find an entrance point. Had to walk a little bit. Y'all gonna have to figure it out like I had to figure it out. It wasn't making much sense to me. I don't know what's going on, but it's raining. One thing about me, one thing for sure, two things for certain. This umbrella that I got for free from Omerta, however you pronounce that land name. I probably put it up on the screen. I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong. Baby, they gave out a free, what the hell is going on here? They gave out a free umbrella. And when I tell you, I use it till the wheels fall off. Use it till the wheels fall off. So I did not read any information on this land. I kind of just came here. When I panned out, it looked a little bit interesting. I saw buildings, being totally honest. I saw buildings. I really am not super sure as to what's going on this land. Okay, I don't know what this is. It's something though. It's definitely something. So we just gonna walk around and make it do what it do. So y'all, okay, did it stop raining? Should I take my umbrella off? Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so y'all, lately, over this last I'ma say, not the whole city under construction. Okay, where we going? Okay, what's going on over here? This last week or so, I've been having ankle pain to the point as to where my ankle has been swollen, hard to walk on, and all of that. What is this? Okay. Hold up. Is this Kaden? Ooh, they made this land. Kaden did this land. Okay, what we got going? Okay, this looks different, but I like it. I like it. Now I am in the shared environment. So my ankle has been bothering me. It has been paining me, to be completely honest. Been absolutely paining me. I don't think there's anything that you can go in. I saw this backdrop before. Super cute. So I don't know what the hell was going on. I know I've been doing a lot of strenuous things that I just not, you know. We soft girl over here to the 55th power. So my body is just really not used to doing anything that requires any type of strength, to be totally honest, other than maybe carrying a heavy bag of groceries, one bag. So I think I just kind of really overdid it these last couple of weeks, just trying to get things the way that I want them to be and stuff like that. And y'all, I've been going through it. So I've been wearing my little ankle brace and stuff like that. I haven't been able to run. That's really been bothering me. I don't know what's going on here. I don't feel hold on, because we finna see what's going on. They talking about coming soon and stuff. That's one thing that bothers me. I'm not gonna lie. This is a backdrop. That's one thing that does bother me is they'll open up lands. Oh, it's cute over here though, but the lands are not done. I'm using quotes, y'all. And so they'll have things that's coming soon and stuff like that. And I just kind of feel it's one of those things. It's I want to see the land in its, completion. But at the same time, I understand that people are you can come see the land now and it's just going to get better. Come back and, check it out again later on when it's completely done. So back to my ankle, y'all. So I haven't been able to run and things like that. So the day before yesterday, I've been walking. Y'all know I don't like that. Ever since I found out I could run, sis don't like to walk. I do a little walk warm up. These flowers are so beautiful, but after that I like to run. That's my jam now. That's really my jam. I like these chairs. So I was walking on the treadmill one day and I was like, okay, this is okay. I had to slow down the speed and everything. So I felt like I was getting a little bit better. So I said, okay, well, let me try to run. Y'all, hell to the no, couldn't run. Ended up taking my shoes off and I was able to do a really light jog with my shoes off. So when I run, I have running shoes, but I also do socks with compression socks as well. And so I kept the compression socks on. Y'all know I love this. I love this little coffee bike. I kept my compression socks on, but I ran without my running shoes. And so I was really able to get like a little 20-minute jog in doing that. Y'all, this is one of my favorite backdrops. I think it's from Versailles. I feel like I'm mispronouncing that as well. So I was able to do a real light jog for like 20 minutes. I just didn't want to overdo it. And so after that, I just been going through it. So I went on TikTok because for me, you know, a lot of people say, you know, you should have went to the doctor and things like that. And you know what? I get that. I do get that. But for me, I'm pretty good at gauging. I don't think this is nothing I could walk in. I ain't getting no hand or nothing. I'm pretty good at gauging when a hospital visit is needed, and I just felt like this wasn't the time, considering the fact like this is nothing that I've been through before. However, I felt like it was something that could be alleviated in-house, and I wouldn't really need to like go anywhere for that. I want to see what's over here before we see what's going on here. So I went on TikTok and I basically typed in what I was having, and basically it's inner ankle pain when I plant my foot down. Now, side note, y'all, I'm flat feet, you know, flat feet for the win, I guess. So a little birthday gift from my father. So when I typed the information in, a video came up about like nerve entrapment. They said in the tibial nerve, or the tibial nerve will get stuck in the tarsal tunnel. Don't get me to, you know, don't. I'm just saying what he was saying, you know. And so he did this like pressure point procedure on his patient. And so I was like, you know what, let me try that. I tried it, y'all. When I tell you, it helped out so much. My ankle was like swollen, y'all, like legit swollen. And so I did that, and it really relieved a lot of the pressure. It did not alleviate the pressure, the pain completely, but it definitely eased up on what I was feeling. So once I did that, I've been doing it every day for like these last like 3 days. And so it was like the first day my ankle was swollen, and then the second day, after I did that like pressure point technique that he did on his patient, the swelling went down. So it's like I went to sleep, got up, the swelling was down. Is it something different on all of these? So I was super duper happy about that. So I'm still doing like the little ankle wraps and things like that. I just told myself, I'm like, you know what? We can't walk, we can't run. We're gonna set it down, and that's just gonna be that. But I really am pissed about it because I didn't want it to happen. Of course, you know, you never want stuff like that to happen, but stuff like that happens. It's something over here too. Like, I don't even know how to get to some of this stuff. Okay, we about to just be, I feel like we gonna end up getting lost. But you know what, that's okay, because we gonna find ourselves after that. So yeah, so that's what's been going on with me, and it is super duper very much so upsetting, but I just always feel like nothing happens just because. So I'm like, you know what? Sit your ass down. Just sit your ass down. They got what they got. Ooh, this is the little sushi set that I had wanted to get from Dust Bunny. And you know what? This is one of those sets where I just really am like, I'm probably just going to go ahead and invest in it. Y'all know how I feel about paying full price for stuff. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Dust Bunny they don't do no weekend sales. I have never. Now, maybe they just don't advertise, but I've never gone to Dust Bunny and they've had a weekend sale going on. I just don't think weekend sales is Dust Bunny's jam. Okay. Oh, I like how they have like different areas designed by different people. Okay. Oh, you hear the snow? It makes like the little crunchy snow sound. I like that. I don't know what's going on over here, but this is cute. This is cute. We done been in 3 different spaces in this short amount of time. So y'all, so I've been getting up since I ain't been able to do nothing. You know, I just been chilling. Okay, hold up. What's this? Okay, wait, what we gonna do? Okay, we gonna see this. We gonna see what's going on over here. Is this like a tunnel? Is this just like a cute little space to be in? This is just a cute little space to be in. It's pretty up in here. I like how they have like all the snow and then the blue butterflies. A very nice contrast of colors. You know, we love it. We love it. So y'all, so I've been really kind catching up on like a lot of little Netflix shows and stuff like that. Not really catching up, but just like finding a lot of different Netflix shows. There's a whole lot of walking. Hold on, we're gonna walk a little bit more to the top, and then I'm gonna pan now because what the hell is going on? Where are we going? Where are we being taken to? Okay, hold on, let me shut up. Okay, all right. You see how we spoke too soon? We shouldn't have did that. We shouldn't have never did that. So I watched a couple shows. A couple by me. I'm thinking like two. How many did I watch? I think like two. So I watched The Worst Ex Ever. And what the hell? Like, what the hell? Now, I must say, although all of I think there were like 4 episodes, 3 or 4 episodes, all of them were horrifying. For me personally, spoiler alert if you guys did not watch it, I won't be too specific, but the very first one, I felt like that first lady, you know, I'm just gonna say this, it never ceases to amaze me how people who many other people would deem to be very beautiful and have the appearance of great success, how they are a lot of times those will be the type of women who will be put through the damn ringer, because when I tell y'all, you could never put your hands on me and I talk to you again in any capacity. The only time that I would mention your name is in court, being questioned by an attorney. That is the only time, because you're going to jail, bitch. You know, you got me messed up. And so the stuff that she was taking off of this man, where, mind you, she wasn't the only person that went through similar situations with this man, but she was one of the had it the easiest, being totally honest, like he was legit a psychopath. And it was definitely one of those situations where it was like the more he wasn't punished for his behaviors, the worse his behaviors became, the worse they became. And so it was just like he just kept building on his horrendousness. And so I felt like the first lady, she had it the easiest, and it was still crazy. But when I tell you, he took her through the ringer, but I can't even say he took her through the ringer, because she honestly, you listen, y'all can call it victim blaming if you want to. I'm not looking at it like that. What I'm basically saying is she had more than one opportunity to pick something different. We're going to come back to this. She had more than one opportunity to make a better choice for the sake of herself, and she chose him every time. And I feel like it's a prime example of the amount of people in the world that simply do not love themselves more. When I tell you, I love the only person that I can genuinely say that I love more than me is my child. And the only reason why I say that I love him more than me is because I am willing to sacrifice my life for the safety of his. And so because of that, I feel like I have to love him more, because you wouldn't make that type of sacrifice for somebody who you didn't love more than yourself. Other than that, bitch, it's me, it's hand. It's me, it's hand. I can love you down. But it will pale in comparison to how much I love me. Y'all normally don't do this, but I do want to see what's on the other side of this. We looked over here already, I do believe. I want to see, am I going to get a hand for, okay, wait, I get a hand. Because I'm like, I don't feel like there's no way in the world they would have made all of these like faux houses. I know a lot of times they do things like this, and they'll make them just like faux spaces that you can't go into. But I'm like, there's no way they built up this whole area and you can't go in here. Hold up. What's in here? Oh, I like this. Y'all, side note, real quick, side note. And we're gonna get back to the topic at hand. I don't want to forget this. Y'all, so I have been on YouTube. I love this pillow. Watching an unhealthy amount of eviction videos. That what's the name of that YouTuber? Final Notice with Pen. Honey, first of all, he is wonderful at what he does. He's always very compassionate, but one thing about him, you gonna get your shit set out. You're gonna get your stuff set out. So he's very compassionate to the plight of everyone, but at the same time, he's like, at the end of the day, that don't have nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. When I tell y'all, I get no like pleasure out of watching it, but it is very fascinating to me. The audacity that a lot of people have. Now, everybody's situation is different when it comes to why they're getting evicted, but the vast majority of them just grossly behind on their rent, whether they're getting like rental assistance or anything like that. Like literally they're just like, I don't want to pay it. I don't want to pay it. And now there are always situations where I can understand where when it's you dealing with like a slumlord and things like that, and it's like, well, I'm not going to pay unless you fix this. Unfortunately, you still have to pay, you still have to pay. Like they legit can be slumlords and you still have to pay them their rent, because regardless of if they are actually a slumlord or not, you're still occupying their residence. And so you have to pay them. It sucks, but you still have to pay them. And so I've seen so many people who have literally were just like, I wasn't paying it. And they're like, okay, but you knew you had to pay. Yeah, I knew I had to pay it, but I just wasn't paying it. Now, for me, coming from a space of understanding that people will fall on hardships and things like that, I feel like to just not pay rent because you simply don't want to pay it, I feel like that's crazy. I could understand you like, I don't have it to pay. Fell on hard times, things happen. I tried to work it out. I understand that. But it was people like really, really far behind. It was this one lady though that I really felt bad for. It was almost like subleasing or subletting. I don't know like the actual verbiage for it, but she was paying her rent to the person that like actually was on the lease. Now I feel like it's something in these other two. We finna check it out. She was actually paying the money for her. She was paying the money to the lady who actually, I guess, whose name was actually on the lease. And so, but the lady wasn't paying the rent. She wasn't paying the rent. So all this time that she's giving this lady this money, and this lady's supposed to be like her friend or something like that. All this time she's giving her friend this money, her friend is not paying the rent. And so she got put out. House full of shit. Now they were hoarders, but at the same time, it was still a house full of stuff, like lots and lots of stuff to put out. And the lady was pregnant, and it was just like, damn, like why would you even put somebody in a situation where they're trusting you that you're gonna pay the rent that you're telling them that needs to be paid in order for them to keep their place, and then you're not paying the rent to the people that need the rent, and you're really cool with somebody really just like being out on their ass. It's like, is it drugs? Because I feel like that's the only time that I could really be like, okay, well, that's what it was. It still is shitty, but it's one of those things where it's like, at least we know that it was going to like some type of habit, as opposed to you just like living your life and you going on trips and shit like that, knowing that the person has a whole family that's living in that house. And like most Americans, or most people, period, not even Americans, they need a place to stay. They need a place to stay. I felt like that was so crappy. It was so messed up. I felt like that was so much unnecessary stress for that lady to go through, especially considering she was pregnant. Like, she was visibly pregnant. And when Pen tell you right now, once I get here, baby, you're trespassing and you gotta go. You have to go. I don't have nothing to do with, they didn't send you no notice. I don't have nothing to do with, they didn't do no papers. You didn't go to court. You didn't know. You got to go. Once I'm here, your stuff getting put out today. I'm never leaving and coming back. The court's gonna have to send me an order right now. And I can tell you one thing for sure, two things for certain, that's not gonna happen. And so to like watch him have compassion, but it's still one of those things where it's like he still has a job to do. I feel like it takes a certain type of person to do that and not abuse their powers. I can definitely see people abusing that power and wanting to mistreat people that they have to, you know, evict and stuff like that, because most people are not going to be, okay, I like this space already. I like this space already. This is very zen. A lot of people are not going to be very cooperative when you're telling them they have to leave right now. Regardless if they know they wasn't paying the rent and they should have been paying the rent or whatever, they're, ooh, I like that. I have a singing bowl, y'all. My singing bowl was sitting down. I haven't been using it. So it was just like sitting on the shelf for a while. It got like dust on it and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I got to get it together because I haven't been using it. I got to clean it off because I really do like the singing bowl. And so I really was like, OMG, like, mind you, it's so many different, oh, this is like an altar. It seems like they give like offerings and stuff like this with the food and stuff. I've seen so many different, because you know, you watch one thing on YouTube and then they give you 55 other recommendations. I saw so many other like eviction channels and stuff like that, but for me that one is the one that I like the most because he's compassionate, he's not rude, you know, he's not mean, but they gets it done. The people who he got working with him, honey, they gets it done. They don't say nothing, and honey, they done went into some houses. They done went into some houses where I was like, baby, I'm not normally one of those people that are like, call CPS on them. They need to get their kids taken away. They need some help. They need a little bit of guidance. They need a little bit of guidance, because to have your children in that type of environment is absolutely cray-cray, y'all. So yeah, back to what I was talking about before I interrupted myself. I feel like when women and men find themselves in relationships where they are loving the other person more than they love themselves, I feel like that is absolutely, I don't know what I'm walking into. What are we walking into, y'all? I feel like that is definitely a breeding ground for horribleness. What is this? How many flights of stairs is it? Damn it. Hold up, what is this? Okay, y'all finna piss me off. Okay, never mind. There's some stuff right here. And so when I watched that episode, and it's actually like the first episode, when I watched that episode, it was her and like I think 2 other women that had dealt with him, and the other 2 women was like, dude, deuces, out of here. The first lady was the only one, and even she admitted, like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, I definitely should have made better choices. He was able to guilt her into not only forgiving his actions, but also forgetting them enough to give him another chance at a relationship, just for him to once again fuck her up. It was so disheartening just to see that. You know, a lot of times we'll see like celebrities, that's a good example. Like, we'll see celebrities in relationships and we're like, why would she let him treat her like that, and how could he do her like that and stuff like that? And I just feel like, hold on, because I'm trying to get it to the other side of this, and I just feel like you realize that although, oh, I'm getting a hand, can I walk through here? Although looks are important to many people, okay, can I click on this? Oh, what's this? Y'all, we finna get lost. I already know. Look how beautiful this is, y'all. So I feel like once you, what we gonna look at? It's a lot of stuff to look at. I wanna look at these little flowers real quick. Once you show your partner or allow your partner to see how much blatant disrespect you will take from them, because in my opinion, I feel like it's just a way for you to show like, I love you more than I love me, and my self-esteem is not where it should be. I feel like the whole beauty aspect of how someone like views you, I feel like that goes out the door. I do feel like once a person can see like what you're willing to take from, what you're willing to take off of them, it really like dulls down the initial awe of you, if you will. Because I feel like for me, it's like the same thing for like when you see a person that you deem beautiful, but then you learn that they have like a very nasty disposition about themselves. For me, that beauty kind of fades. It kind of dulls away because it's like, okay, the essence of you is nasty. You have a very nasty disposition. So for me, okay, I love the colors. So for me, it's like now I don't see you as beautiful or as handsome as I once did. And so with that show, it just really showed me that a lot of times it is a bias that I do believe, I'm gonna look at this pillow, that I do believe a lot of people have, because I hear people say it a lot, and I myself have said it before as well. It's that whole like how could you mistreat her? Like, how could you do that? Like, people were like, Jermaine Dupri cheated on Janet Jackson. Like, how could he cheat on Janet Jackson? And it's like, that shit happens. You know, people who everybody else would deem beautiful and stuff like that. I imagine you, Janet Jackson, she said, baby, I'm not the one, the two, or the three, okay? I'm about to go. And she went on ahead and moved around. But it's one of those things where it's like, just because you deem somebody a certain type of way doesn't mean somebody else does. Now, granted, I'm not trying to say that he felt like Janet Jackson was not beautiful. I do believe that he felt Janet Jackson was absolutely beautiful. But what I do know is that men as well as women, but I've seen it more prevalent with men, they will purposely seek out someone who many deem to be untouchable, for lack of a better word. Very like, everybody wants this person, and they'll get with that person and try their best to drag them to hell. And many times they succeed. Now, that comes from a different type of mental space, in my opinion. I feel like that's a very sick way to be, but it is very prevalent in a lot of people. And so we've seen that, where it's like, you think this person is beautiful, but look how much they're willing to take off of me, which shows that even though everybody else might deem them beautiful, that does not equal to self-respect. And I feel like watching that show and me, you know, basically showing my own bias, where I'm just like, girl, you're beautiful. What the hell are you doing? Almost to say as though if you were less aesthetically pleasing, if you will, that you should be more tolerable of disrespect, and that's absolutely not true. So I'm very happy that I did kind of just was able to check those biases within myself regarding that aspect. There definitely is a stereotype on people that society would deem unattractive, and making it seem like, okay, well, when you are deemed unattractive, like, you are more likely to deal with more shit, because it's almost like, okay, well, you know, everybody else thinks you're unattractive, so you kind of got to get what you got to get. And that is totally not true. And I feel like it is moments like that that really shows my ignorance and bias. And I really had to check myself, because it's like, everybody views people differently. What I consider to be unattractive might not be unattractive to other people. There are plenty of people in the world that people are like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, but she doesn't look at herself like that. And so I feel like, for me to have that type of bias, I feel like it was so great for me to watch that show, because I was really able to check a lot of my biases and be like, yeah, that's a crazy way to think, even though it's not anything that I've ever like actually verbalized other than right now. But I feel like it was such an important thing for me to talk about right now, because it definitely was a bias that I had all the way up until I watched that show. And so I'm just like, there is no point in time where disrespect, especially to that extent, should be tolerated. And it's never going to be a time where it's like, well, I can understand why they would tolerate that, because no, there's absolutely no reason for it and no excuse for it. But the only thing that I think, oh, I like this. The only thing that I think about is, when you are willing to tolerate that, regardless of your physical features, you have, that is low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem, because to have any type, not only that, but you love that person more than you love yourself. Now that's just my personal opinion, because to have any type of self-esteem about yourself means that you would hold yourself in higher regards than what a lot of women and men will hold themselves to when they let people just treat them any type of way. There are plenty of times where people will get in relationships and they love that other person more than they love themselves. And I feel like those are the times where you see like some of the most toxic relationships. And what makes it even worse is that when the other partner knows that that person doesn't love them as much as they should, they don't love themselves as much as they should, a lot of times they will take advantage of that, knowing that it's like they don't want me to leave. So if I even allude to wanting to leave or allude to the possibility of me leaving, I know that I can bend them and mold them in the way that I desire so that they can be the perfect little puppet for me, instead of kind of like pouring into that person and showing that person like, no, you need to love yourself more. I feel like that would be such a healthy mindset to be in. If you've never been in a relationship with somebody who has loved you more than they love themselves, it's not the flex that you might think it is. It's simply not the flex that you may think it is. I've been in that situation. I've been in a relationship where the man has loved me more than he loved himself. Literally verbalized it to me. And I quote, more than I love it himself, I love you more than I love my kids. And he was an active father. Active. Loved his kids down. Loved them babies down. And so shortly after that, I was like, First of all, I felt like it was absolutely insane to even verbalize that. But the second part about it was like to know that that's petrifying for me. That's very petrifying for me, because what it says to me is I am now, what is this? Okay. Neo kitsch. I don't know, but I like this. So it's a lot of different design. And you know what? I feel like this is the side note. This answers the question that I've had this is what was on the other side of this for a long time. When I see these very, very extensive and elaborate lands, I'm always just like, did one designer come together and just do this whole thing? Or did multiple designers come together and do this whole thing? And so this is a example of multiple designers coming together and creating a whole land. Oh, y'all, I got this. I love when I go to lands and I see that they have things that I have. It makes me feel like, yeah, you got something kind of exclusive because designers have this, and designers in Second Life, they go all out. And so, yeah, that was a situation where once I realized and once he verbalized how he felt about me, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. It was so scary for me. It was not flattering at all. It was not flattering at all. I feel like it's dangerous to be in that type of position. And that's when he became a stalker. And if you've never had a stalker, that shit too, we saw this already. That shit too is petrifying. Absolutely petrifying. And the crazy part about it is on the worst ex ever, they were stalkers. And just so, when I tell you all of the levels of the bullshit that you just would not want in a relationship, they possessed them all. And it was scary. It was scary to watch. It was scary to know that humans could even mentally operate in a space like that, to do those type of heinous things to anybody else and feel justified, to actually feel justified, almost to say like, had they not done this or had they not done that, then they wouldn't be in this position. It's like, so you're blaming, now that's victim blaming. It's like you're blaming the other person for a position that they didn't even know that they were going to be in dealing with you. They didn't know that them saying, I don't want to be with you no more, or anything to that extent will put them in a position where now they in a room fighting for their life. You know what I'm saying? And so I just kind of feel like to see these people feel justified in their behaviors and just be cool with it it's crazy in the type of effect that it takes on the person who has to deal with that, the person who has gone through that. That's a different level of trauma that I feel like so many people just do not understand. They're just simply not aware of. So yeah, so that was crazy. Another show that I watched was I Can't Walk Up Here. What's happening? Okay. Okay, because I don't do too much. I don't like when y'all do too much. Another show that I saw was called what was it called? Con Mom. Baby, this lady, she need her ass beat. She need her ass beat. She was old too. She was an old woman doing that shit. Like I can't even really talk about it without telling y'all everything about it. But long story short, this she was an old ass con woman. She was an old ass con woman, and that heifer, she was bold. She was very much so bold in all that she did. And all that she did. And all I'm gonna say is, because I really want y'all to check these out, it's like, baby, you really could have stayed away. For you to come back and re-inflict pain and suffering on somebody that just wanted to love you and just wanted to be loved, I feel like that's a special place in hell for her. Like, absolutely a special place in hell. To double down on the I didn't really want you type things, that whole little aspect is like, I'm really here for what I can get out of you. I feel like it's crazy. And it just really makes me feel like, if you felt like you were able to gain something from him, would you have taken a different route? I think just knowing that her feelings were like she couldn't gain anything from him, so it's like, why am I even dealing with you? I feel like that is the bigger issue of it all. It's some stuff down here that I want to see. Y'all, this is giving me In Silico vibes. Y'all know I love me some In Silico. I love this very techie, futuristic. It's giving like China, Tokyo type vibes, like really, really advanced, very modern, but still has a nice grunge aspect to it, which I really like. I really, really like this. So yes, I saw that. And then what else did I see? I saw The Residence. That, what was it? That murder mystery. Love the cast completely. Y'all, please don't let me get hit by no car. Love the cast completely. It was so good. It was really one of those like binge-worthy, bingey type shows, and I definitely binged on it. Really good watch. Very, very engaging. I loved it from beginning to end. And let me tell you, it was so funny because it was one of those things where it would have been very easy to be like, yeah, everybody could have did it. Everybody could have did it, and it's not one way where you can be like, but I don't think that. It's like, no, everybody could have did it. Everybody could have did it. And so the way that everything really played out, I really did like it. I love like the little twist and things like that. It was really, really good. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. I don't know why, because what I have learned is when it comes to Netflix, the little Netflix series, they always give it very much so Lifetime. I've never seen a Lifetime movie that I was like, and why would they make this? Never.